Hello everybody, it's me Apathylex. Most of us know that Azir will be receiving a rework after Riot posted this Q&A in their website, saying that they will be improving his abilities and not his visual design. I'll leave the links to this in the description below. Now, I have a multitude of feelings to this, in which I will discuss later on in this video. The subject of this video is, does Azir really need a rework? First, let's have a short recap with his abilities then and now. He had two passives before, the tower and the attack speed that scales with his cooldown reduction, which he no longer has. Instead, they moved that scaling attack speed to the passive of his W, Arise. Speaking of W, Arise had a very wide range before, that I agree it was pretty broken. His E, Shifting Sands, had a knockup, which was his only effective CC, in my opinion. This knockup feature in his E was also removed. And finally, his R, Emperor's Divide. Before, the phalanx stays up for 5, 6, and 7 seconds depending on the level. Now it only has 3. 3 seconds! I mean, could they at least increase its duration per level like 3, 4, and 5, rather than a flat 3? He also had a lot of bugs before, which Riot managed to fix every time, somehow. Now we will go over to the fixes and changes that I believe that affected his statics the most. First is the removal of his knockup. Now he has no CC compared to the other mid laners like Ahri or LeBlanc. Yes, indeed he has a long range, but it doesn't mean he doesn't need a CC. Look at Xerath. Next is the nerf in his ultimate's duration, which I mentioned a while ago. It seemed like those armored soldiers' job is to knock up away the threats to the Emperor, and no longer protects his Imperial Majesty afterwards. Remember, he no longer has a CC. They just disappear so fast. Next is the fix in his W soldier's AP scaling ratio, which was his last nerf, and I believe it crippled him the most. Personally, I think it wasn't necessary, because after all the nerfs he received, he needs to maintain his damage. This fix nerfed his mid-game capabilities when it comes to damage. If you didn't have a good start, it'll be hard for you to survive throughout the game as an Azir. And a few weeks later after that fix, his core item, Rylai's, got nerfed. Now, going back to the topic, does Azir need a rework? There's a huge part of me saying that no, he doesn't, because he's so unique, and I believe a few tweaks in his abilities should do just fine. Tweaks such as bringing back the damage, or the scaling in his W, or bringing back the knockup in his E. Then there is a small part of me that feels that he needs the rework to get back on his feet. But if that rework changes the Azir that I love, or we love, then it would be really sad. It's like we will be playing a new Azir, or Azir II, whatever you call it, and saying goodbye to the old bedridden Emperor. I also feel like my 1 million mastery will have to reset if they completely change his abilities, like a whole new set of skills to learn. Azir has been off meta for quite some time now because of the changes. As an Azir enthusiast, I know the feeling of easily losing your lair, with one mistake or one death. Also the fear of getting matched against powerful mid laners with huge bursts and mobility, like Zed, Fizz, Talon, Ahri, or LeBlanc. Name them. Their current status overwhelms Azir's, especially if there are also one-tricks. And just a bit of a rant. Why won't these champions receive as much attention as they did to Azir? Was it because he was so popular in the competitive play in the past years? There is also this article that I've read, and the line says, "And in the future, we'd like to make Azir more possible to play by mere mortals." Well, don't make it so easy that you'll end up killing him again. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to see my magnificent and divine self again, then suggest topics you want for me to talk about in the next video. Leave a like if you found this video nice, and if it's not, it's perfectly fine. Also, subscribe if you like my content, and watch my previous videos if you haven't yet. Right then, thank you for watching.